So I thought I'd light a candle and turn off the lights to set the mood, as it is a spooky story. Now this is a retelling of the Headless Horseman. This version takes place on a cold night in Tarrytown, where a tipsy Dutchman leaves the local tavern to make his way home. But in order to get home, he has to walk along a path that runs parallel to the cemetery. Now this particular night, there is no moon, so the only light he has to guide him is the light from his lantern. As he walks down this path, he starts to grow nervous, becomes fearful, because he starts to remember the stories he heard at the tavern from the other drunken patrons about a ghost that roams the cemetery, that rides atop a black horse and has no head. He used to be a Haitian soldier until he was shot. So, to work up his courage, he starts to hum a song. It works for a little bit, until a light catches the corner of his eye. And he looks. And what he sees is mist rising from a particular gravestone. And his heart begins to pound in fear as he watches the mist rise. And the mist begins to take form into a black horse. Then he watches the mist rise even higher, and atop the horse, the mist forms into a rider with no head. So the Dutchman screams, and the horse, taking notice, looks in his direction and begins to gallop towards the Dutchman. The Dutchman turns right around and begins to run toward the bridge. He remembered that ghosts can't cross running water, so if he can make it to the bridge, he'll be fine. So he begins to run, but he's had a little too much to drink, so he starts to stumble on his boots, and he falls over and rolls off the road into a bush. And he hears the horseman coming. He covers his head, he closes his eyes, and he waits for death. But the horseman gallops right past him and keeps going. And as he passes him, he can hear him cackle. The Dutchman continues to cower in the bush and waits till there's silence. And then he waits for a little while longer until he's absolutely sure there's no horse or ghost. He stands back up, looks around, and runs all the way back home. Upon arriving home, he tells his wife the story of the encounter that he just had. And his wife simply forbids him from staying at the tavern past 9. No more late nights at the bar for him. And she writes it off as just too much to drink. And that was the Headless Horseman. Thank you.